So we have a crisis on our hands, and to be honest with you, it's only going to get worse if we don't address it and tackle it head on. I've been reading the comments, and I wanted to share these comments with you all and provide some answers and possible clarity to the questions and concerns that I'm seeing more and more here recently. I also want to touch on a growing problem and crisis that I seem to be hearing more about more and more on a daily basis. And it is just disturbing to tell you guys the truth. And no, this is not about the food shortages and fertilizer crisis that's coming, although that's a big problem too. And this isn't about the housing market collapse and banks, lenders, and mortgage companies getting desperate with their growing liquidity concerns and taking on more bad debt from NQMs and ninja loans. Nope, it's far worse than that. Even though there are high risk bank accounts out there that are at risk of being flagged, wiped out, shut down, and permanently closed for good, check out the Wells Fargo video I put up the other day if you guys want to know more about that. And don't even get me started on the railroad strike and the huge impact it'll have on us all and our supply chains, which we could all see totally collapse in just a few days. Far worse than the record spike we'll see in unemployment as Jerome Powell and the Fed push to create job loss and intense pain with another interest rate increase of at least 75 basis points and try to undo all that was done in 2020 when they decided to unleash the floodgates and pour billions of dollars into the economy. And if you thought what Mitch McConnell, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, said was bad, you haven't seen anything yet. And while we're on the topic of money printers and stimulus checks, which I still can't believe people watch stimulus check update channels and videos. Like, what are you actually waiting for? What are you expecting to happen? But once a daily and sometimes multiple times per day stimulus check updater, Meet Kevin, has yet to return to YouTube besides posting a picture in a community post with hints of what he's working on behind the scenes. And even though we await the possible but highly unlikely return of Meet Kevin back to YouTube, I think he may be serious this time when he says he's leaving YouTube. And he didn't go the route of so many that I've seen over the years just quietly quitting. And yes, it happens on YouTube too. Nope, Meet Kevin is done, possibly for good this time, I think. And when we see him again, he will never be the same. I was actually watching an old video from a couple years ago where Meet Kevin put out a stimulus check update targeted at black people. Is Meet Kevin racist? That I don't know. But I do know a lot of you watched my video the other day where I explained Meet Kevin's announcement that he's leaving YouTube. And a lot of you had some very interesting ideas and opinions about why Meet Kevin was quitting or maybe being forced to quit. But like I said before, the folks at the top have the furthest to fall. And I'll just say I hope the rumors aren't true. And as I mentioned, I've been reading the comments and I wanted to share these with you all and provide some answers and possible clarity to the questions and concerns that are coming up more and more often. Because we have a crisis on our hands and it's only going to get worse if we don't address it and tackle it head on. I want to talk to you guys about faking it. Folks out there faking it, running out of money, trying to keep up with their friends, trying to impress the people that they don't even like. But we're going to get to that real soon. First, I want to talk about these comments. I received a comment on a previous video, or a recent video, that said, "It doesn't look like you're hurting. Your opinion doesn't mean." That one made me laugh. And you, a typical man, failed to mention how this all tied to a y'all men are disgusting. You putting out half stories for clicks, you can't be trusted. So I'll get to those in a second. And first, a word for the non-haters looking to elevate, build something for themselves, their families, and progress and become more familiar with success. I'll be putting together a video to break down and explain how it is possible to make money online and reveal how much YouTube pays me with 50,000 subscribers. Stay tuned for that. I will post this exclusively for members so you can get an idea of what is possible and what you can likely expect to see from revenues on the channels you're building, with similar views and subscriber counts growing consistently by executing the strategies that I'm sharing with you and that we discuss on a regular basis. The group is growing and we're seeing a lot of new faces, and this is very exciting. Lots of positive comments too from members seeing results already. The key: one simple rule: how to grow a YouTube channel and get more subs and views. If you want to know what this is, come on over, check us out, and make sure you watch all the videos exclusive for members only. I've even created a members only playlist for you too, so check it out and don't miss the members only community posts. I'm sharing lots of tips and insider secrets there on a regular basis. Now is the time to get started if you haven't already. And if you're questioning whether or not I know what I'm talking about, well, I guess there's really no way to prove that besides you looking at my channel now, seeing how long it's been in existence on YouTube by clicking the about link on the header for the channel, seeing how many subscribers I've gained in such a short amount of time, and views and engagements that I get on a regular basis. But still, the choice is yours. You have to make the decision of whether or not you're even interested in learning more about the possibility. I actually had someone comment on a video that I put up for you guys, explaining to you one of the many ways that you can create a YouTube channel that doesn't include your face and build the potential for huge earning possibilities from product reviews. Now, I sense some negativity and some hatred in the comments there, but I'm going to let that slide because I know that's not the collective sentiment of the group, of the community, of the family. And that video was purely for those folks out there interested in learning more about the process, the platform, the algorithm, and ways that you can succeed. And, if you were out there and you've got a channel that, you've been on YouTube for over a year or two or more, maybe you started a channel in 2015 and you only got about 89 subscribers, give or take, and you average about 10 to 12 views a video, perhaps maybe you might want to check out the members only group, figure out how you too can stop wasting your time posting garbage that no one cares about and actually start getting views, likes, subscribers, reaching the 4,000 watch hours, and applying for YouTube monetization. It's really not that hard, trust me. But if not, continue doing what you've been doing. Sure, it's working out well for you. And then maybe 10, 20, 30 years from now, when you actually reach monetization level, things will pick up. But let's talk about these comments. Doesn't look like you're hurting. Your opinion doesn't mean And you know what? Honestly, you're right. My opinion doesn't matter. I really try not to include opinion in my videos. I really just try to cover the topics at hand and explain what could be. It's not really an opinion. It's just expanding on what exists. And, in relation to what it looks like, what you see, what I show you, and whether or not I'm hurting or not, I think that's irrelevant. But at the end of the day, would you rather me sit here and talk to you guys about preparing financially for your future and helping you understand and identify the potential pitfalls that could exist for those who are hurting from the perspective of someone who's not hurting? Or would it be better if I was, homeless, broke, living paycheck to paycheck, and not a dime to my name, negative net worth, and here on YouTube giving you guys tips and tricks and strategies to beat inflation, improve your income, increase your personal financial net worth, build a small business, generate passive income through side hustles? I don't know. If that's what you want, I guess. Comment below. Let me know. But I'll just be sure not to do that because that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. I feel as though that it would make sense to get advice from people who have actually experienced it and lived it and succeeded from it versus people who have no idea what they're talking about. But either way, my opinion doesn't mean So we're moving on to the next comment. Now this one really made me laugh. And I can almost visualize and picture the type of woman who left this comment. You'll know the type. And I quote, "You, a typical man, failed to mention how this is all tied to a blank blank case. Y'all men are disgusting. You putting out half stories for clicks. You can't be trusted." Boy, oh boy. Where do I start? Where do I begin? Let's start at the top. I am a typical man. I honestly have to say that I feel sorry for you for immediately labeling me as a typical man, or even having that concept included within your vocabulary, because that just explains to me the type of woman or female or person you are and the men that have been in your life or lack thereof. And this is actually something that's really interesting, is that I get stereotyped and generalized 100% based off of a few minutes of a video upload that I share with you guys of what I choose to create and share, which is crazy. Believe, half of what you see and none of what you hear. Remember that. Typical man. It sounds like a person that would have called into the late Kevin Samuels, only to be broken down and exposed for who they are. Not in a negative way to make them feel bad, but just to wake them up, just to shake them, realize how stupid they sound. Claiming that I failed to mention how a previous story that I shared with you guys was tied to a court case, which I don't actually believe is 100% true. So now we're just splitting hairs. But because of this, y'all men are disgusting. So it almost sounds like whoever this is giving up on men altogether, because I've been labeled as a typical man, and in general, men are disgusting. You're putting out half stories for clicks. You can't be trusted. And that's part of the problem. Oftentimes, the information that I bring to you guys, the core of it, the underlying message, the real value besides the headline story, gets completely overlooked and missed in one ear and out the other. And this is oftentimes why most people fail and continuously succeed at failing to grow and improve their lives, their relationships, their financial situations. So many areas that could be improved upon don't, because they miss the message. It's really kind of hard to learn anything while you're talking. So maybe try shutting up for a little while. Pay attention. Now, you say I put out a half story for clicks. And guess what? This is YouTube. The name of the game is clicks. It's actually called click-through rate. And if you join the group, I can explain this to you further. But you make content for people to click on it. You make content for people to view it. And if they don't click on it, they're not going to view it. It's kind of hard to do that. You see what I'm saying? But you call it a half truth. And I call it ignoring what doesn't matter. Because what does matter is the meat and the core and the value behind the subject, which is, and I'll explain it to you now since you didn't quite get it the first time, which is that depending on certain circumstances, banks have the ability to close your accounts, no matter who you are, no matter how much money you have in them, no matter how long you've been a customer or a client of the bank, no matter your financial status or business structure, credit score. None of that matters, especially as we move forward into a more digital age based on artificial intelligence and algorithms, which can be good and very bad, as they accidentally flag accounts based on parameters set by the creators and the code writers and developers. And this is the problem. This could potentially hurt you, although unnecessarily and accidentally. Could be a huge problem. It may not get fixed, and it may just automatically close your account with really no recourse besides complaining, writing letters, and basically just transferring your funds somewhere else, and hopefully it doesn't disrupt your personal life and or your business. But if you automatically go into the situation thinking typical men, y'all men can't be trusted, then guess what? You're going to miss the message. But odds are you probably don't have a checking account, probably don't have a business account. And even if you did, you probably didn't have enough funds in there for it to really matter. So you can just move whatever money you may have in there to some other form of prepaid card or prepaid debit card or secured credit card or MoneyGram or whatever Walmart cash card there is. I'm not 100% sure. And it doesn't apply to you. It doesn't affect you. But if you want to go a little deeper, gain a better understanding for some of the things that I'm talking to you guys about based on real life examples, then we can do that. Comment below. Let me know. Because I want to share with you guys something very simple and very easy to understand. And it's that a lot of preparation, a lot of prep, a lot of these scenarios, these events, these news headlines, they all pretty much come back to a similar, relatable experience, idea, theory, agenda, plan, strategy that we're moving forward towards rapidly. And if you fail to realize that and fail to connect the dots, then you ultimately will fail in general. Maybe you get lucky. Maybe you're spared. Maybe they show you mercy. But honestly, for the most part, you're going to be basically left to have your fate decided and determined by someone else because you missed every single warning sign, every single caution sign, every single yellow flashing light. You missed them all because you went into the situation with an attitude, with a chip on your shoulder, with some bitterness and resentment towards, I don't know, successful, handsome men, and everything of value that was being shared with you went in one ear and out the other. Best of luck to you on your single life for eternity. Maybe at best you'll be somebody's baby mama. All right. Now, folks out there are in trouble. They're doomed. They are out there playing these games, wasting money, wasting time, not preparing, and they have no idea how bad it's about to get. And these are the folks out here faking it, okay? They are going to run out of money very quickly. Odds are they've actually already run out of money, and they are upside down. They're buried in debt. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're living paycheck to paycheck. I'd say they're one paycheck away from being homeless, but oftentimes these folks don't have a home. They don't have their own residence. They don't have a name on any lease or any deed or anything like that. And all they're trying to do is keep up a look, keep up a facade, keep up an appearance. They want to impress their friends. Oftentimes they want to impress people they don't even know. You know, they're doing all this for clout. They're flexing on the gram, trying to, keep up and impress folks out there that may or may not have it like that. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It all comes down to you. And I really feel for these folks because when shit really does hit the fan, which we're probably going to see before 2023, fall of 2022 is going to be rough. I'm just going to put that out there. I feel sorry for these folks because when the rubber meets the road, when that hammer drops, that's going to be the final nail in the coffin. Because what's going to happen is, and you guys mark my words, it's already happened on previous videos and previous predictions that I've had so far as we progress down this road of life. And you're going to come back and you're going to say, Kevin, you were right. But what's going to happen is there's going to be a lot of folks coming, knocking on your door, texting you, calling you, sliding in your DMs, sending emails, just trying to get a hold of you. And they're going to ask for help. They're going to pretty much wallow in tears because everything's pretty much falling apart for them. And what you're going to see happen is you're going to be on the other side of this conversation. You're going to be on the other side of this phone call. You're going to be on the other side of this text message. And you're going to say, what are you talking about? I thought everything was okay. You drive an Audi. You drive a Mercedes. You drive a Porsche. You drive a Lexus. What are you talking about? You've got You got two cars. You got PS5. You got all the latest and greatest gadgets. You got all the fresh kicks. I've seen your pictures. You've been on vacation. What are you talking about? I thought everything was fine. Mark my words. These calls, these texts, these conversations, they're about to start happening as people begin to get exposed. They're going to get exposed at the worst possible time as the economy hits the middle class, the lower income earners, the working class poor the hardest, and they're unable to keep faking it. They're unable to keep faking it. And the government's not going to be there. Unemployment benefits are not going to boost those. Stimulus checks, they're not coming. And the folks that they were leaning on, the ones that they were living under their roof without paying a dime, the ones propping them up, the ones whose heart was so big and enormous that they couldn't say no, no matter what, they're gonna call it quits. And it's gonna be a tough talk. It's gonna be a hard conversation to have, but they're gonna be done too, because they're not gonna have anything left to carry that burden of you when you've had all this time to prepare and become financially responsible, pay attention to the warning signs, do what needed to be done, so that when the shit hits the fan, you wouldn't be dead weight. You wouldn't be dragging anchor. And unfortunately, there's so many folks out there that, again, are going to hear this message. It's going to go in one ear, it's going to come out the other, and they're just going to wait. They're just going to wait until the 11th hour, and their back's against the wall. They're stuck between that rock and a hard place, and they have no other option. And I'm not smiling because I can't wait for it to happen. I'm just smiling because I'm hoping that they're listening to what I'm saying and taking this as a personal warning to do something now while there's still time before it's too late.